Hello, my name is Sarah Abbott, and I am the Electronic Resources Librarian at the National Archives. Welcome to this short introduction to the library collection at the National Archives. The library here was established when the organisation was originally founded as the Public Record Office in the mid-19th century. For much of its history, it was a resource for staff only and not accessible to the public, even though as early as 1885, Assistant Keeper Charles Martin suggested searchers be allowed to go to the library to see books which they wished to consult. He felt this would be a great boon to the public and no disadvantage to the officers. However, it was over 100 years later, in 1997, that the library was finally fully open to the public. I couldn't actually find any photographs from that period, but I was really happy to discover that this occasion was mentioned in the Keeper's report for that year. Pleased because it's quite rare for the library to actually feature in our annual report. The library acts primarily as a research library to users of the archive collection and is now an integral part of the National Archives public service. An unusual feature of our library is that it is freely available to anyone who wishes to use it on a reference-only basis. It's a good starting place for research, as it provides access to a rich collection of primary and secondary published sources. It contains around 75,000 published items that complement and support research into the archives. The library incorporates two collections of early publications that predate the Public Record Office. That of the Record Commission, which provided its original nucleus, and that of the State Paper Office, which was absorbed into the new Public Record Office building in Chancery Lane in 1854. Many of our early publications bear the stamp of the State Paper Office, such as these two examples here. Publications date from the 16th century onwards, and the 3,000 books printed before 1830 now form our rare books collection. This is the title page of the first printed book on cryptology and was originally published in 1508. This copy is a later edition from 1518, but it's the earliest book in our library collection. The author was a Benedictine abbot with an interest, among other things, in lexicography, cryptology and occultism. This map of Somerset was produced by John Speed. Speed was a historian and a cartographer, and was the first cartographer to produce detailed maps of the counties, which attempt to show the true boundaries of territorial divisions. This particular book, which was printed in 1627, is one of the earliest examples of a miniature atlas, and one of my favourite books in our collection. The library includes primary published sources, that is, material that is contemporaneous with the period being researched, such as directories. These are useful for discovering advertisements, people and places, and other information, such as postage prices, as shown in this image from the London Calendar for 1808. The provenance of early printed books, that is, the previous ownership, can be as interesting as the subject within them. This bookplate indicates that the book was once owned by Sir John Trollope, MP. He was the MP for South Lincolnshire from 1841 through to 1868, and he was also President of the Poor Law Board in 1852. The bookplate is in our copy of the second revised edition of the Office of the Clerk of Assize. Printed in 1682, it was the standard guide for assize clerks at that time. So, this book is directly relevant to records here at the National Archives for two reasons. Firstly, because we hold the assize court records from 1559 onwards, and secondly, because we hold records of the Poor Law Board from the time Trollope was president. There are also facsimile copies of some documents held in the National Archives within our library collection, including Domesday, which has been published in various formats since the 18th century. This is an image of the 19th century facsimile of Domesday, which was produced using the photozincograph process, a type of photography using sunlight. Many books also contain transcriptions or summaries of documents, both those here and in other archives. This example is from a Surrey Record Society publication and is a transcript of entries from the Surrey Feat of Fines 1509 to 1558, which are held in our repositories. These publications act as surrogates to the original documents, making them more accessible to a wider audience, but also protecting the originals from too much handling. We have a large collection of local history material, featuring books and journals from all parts of the country. It includes publications from the local record societies, examples of which you can see here. The library also provides secondary published sources, including books, journals, and online resources. These provide contextual or background information on the wide range of subjects covered by the archival records, which range from politics and government, British policy overseas and social and economic policy, through the intelligence services and works on military forces and wars and conflicts, to transport and design, photographs and art. Many of these sources include references to our records. For example, the bibliography in this book, Their Day Has Passed, Gypsies in Victorian and Edwardian Surrey, includes references to H.O. 45, which are archival records from the Home Office that are held here. You can use these references to locate the files in Discovery, the National Archives catalogue. All of this material can be found on our library catalogue, which is separate from the archive catalogue Discovery. You'll be able to find the library catalogue on our website by searching for the word library in the search box on the top right hand corner, or use the Help with Our Research button and scroll down the page until you reach the link to the library catalogue. Once you are on the library catalogue, you can search by keywords or select to search by title, author, subject, etc. Alternatively, browse the bibliographies. These are reading lists curated by subject specialists and the library team. You will also find links to many of these in the research guides on our website. All of this information is readily available alongside the raw archival material, and books can be taken into the document reading rooms to use at the same time as reading the archives. At the moment, due to the restrictions as a result of the coronavirus pandemic, you will need to request library material at the same time as placing your request for documents in advance of your visit. Please see the National Archives website for further details. Thank you for watching. I leave you with the title page from Speed's Miniature Atlas of 1627. Thank you. Goodbye.